Bitcoin has just closed 4 critical charts. We're going to cover each of the 4. This is one of them here. This is another one here. Here's a very critical one. And the last one is here. 4 critical charts that Bitcoin has just closed. There is some very bad news associated with some of these, but is it all bad news? We will uncover the facts in the charts and deliver to you right here in today's video. My name is Steve. Hit that subscribe button. Let's jump straight into it. First and foremost, Happy New Year. Happy New Year to you and your family. Hope it was incredible. And at the end of the video, I'm going to give a little tip because at this time of the year, people do New Year's resolutions and they're absolutely garbage. I'm going to give you one simple thing to do instead that will actually impact your life. Now to the charts. What we're starting off with is our yearly close. Right? We've covered this at length. We were looking for some certain things to play out in the charts to avoid some turmoil, but we didn't avoid it. We printed this candle right here on the yearly chart, and for the first time ever, Bitcoin has printed a bearish engulfing candle. A bearish engulfing candle is a red candle, and the body of the red candle is bigger than the prior green candle. If the prior green candle is red and this one is bigger, that's not a bearish engulfing. A bearish engulfing has to have a red body that is bigger than the previous body, which is green, and it signals a trend reversal, plain and simple, right? Now, does every single bearish engulfing candle and bullish engulfing candle work on every single time frame? No, it's trading and charts are all about probability and statistics, but make no mistake about it. This is a bearish engulfing candle. There's no way to argue against it, and there's no way to argue that the majority of the time these are trend reversal candles. No way to argue that, right? The facts are the facts. Now, what does it mean? Well, we're going to uncover some more facts and a couple other charts, and we'll put some things together, but basically, you've got this green candle here, you've got this red candle here, and you don't have a whole lot of action. Obviously, we have a lot of action at 13.7, right? We have this yearly close, this one, as well as this wick, right? Here, this 13.7 is the most prominent level. It has always been the most prominent level. And we'll talk about, is that a realistic option for Bitcoin? Let's get into the second chart, total market cap. Right? We had talked about back in the day, back in 2018, we had resistance at this white line, right? And this is total market cap. This is Bitcoin and all the altcoins, right? Resistance here, it's been support so far. And we just had a close still holding as support. This level right here in the total market cap, we're talking about 751 billion. We've got to watch that level. That's a very critical level. If we break that, we're in a bit of a free fall, right? Our next level of little support would be here at 578. And then you talk of the bodies here, which is 531. So 531 to 578 would be our next levels, right? So we've got to watch that like a hawk, and we've got to remain above that level. We did close as support, so that's good news, albeit for the short term. Now, let's talk about this monthly chart. Monthly chart for Bitcoin. We talked a lot about this 19.5. We needed to hold that with bodies, and we did month after month after month after month. This was our breakdown candle. Our breakdown candle did something that is not very good, and we just had this close, which was also not very good. So this breakdown candle actually breached this level, this little yellow line here, and this little yellow line reverts back to the wick, and that's the wick of January 2018. That wick was our thin ice. Our thin ice was right here at 17.2, and this breakdown candle breached it momentarily, and then the next month we closed as resistance to our thin ice. What's below thin ice? If you've ever been standing on thin ice and it broke, it's not a very pleasant thing. We just closed as resistance to our thin ice. And if you're looking at the market structure in a very, very simplistic way, right in front of us with all of the facts, you can see that there's not a whole lot of market structure from where we are now down to 13.7. There's just not a lot of structure. Those are just the facts. Brutal as they may be, they are the facts, okay? And you can see we don't have any market structure here or here or here to help us when we're having resistance from our thin ice, right? Now, this 13.7 level, we had talked about it at length a long time ago, back when it was really, really laughable. This was always the strongest level. We've always called it the strongest level, and it was always a possibility. When we had this candle right here, which is a trend reversal candle from our pivot high of 69K, we called this candle out, a couple years ago. And after this candle printed, we always said 13.7 was a possibility. We got laughed off the stage back then, and here we are. This was our trend reversal candle way back in the day. You're talking about a January 2021 candle close on the 6 month as a trend reversal at its peak. And here's another bearish engulfing candle that we had printed on the 6 month chart. So you can see here's a bearish engulfing candle on the 6 month chart and what happened as the next candle. And we just had a bearish engulfing candle on the yearly chart, and we just started our next candle. So things aren't looking so pleasant for Bitcoin. I'll try to talk about some more pleasant things, but let's first talk about this chart. This chart's very critical. This chart paints a very clear picture that 3, 6, 9 months in a row, we were holding on for dear life on our thin ice. We created this little channel here with this yellow line and this yellow line. The top yellow line being the top of this wick, and the bottom of the yellow line being the top of this wick. And for 9 months, we respected the hell out of this channel. This was our thin ice, right? We talked about this candle printing on the 3 month chart is a ridiculous selling pressure, profit taking coming in to the market. And we talked about that big snowball rolling down the hill, and we stopped our snowball on that thin ice for 3, 6, 9 months. However, we just closed this candle, and in the final days, we broke our thin ice and we closed below. Our body is below that thin ice, and now we're in a new candle, which is going to have resistance from this thin ice, and the only thing below it is 13.7, right? It's the sevens. Bitcoin's likes the sevens. 13.7 and 10.7 are the levels to watch with bodies. Again, if a wick goes through, who cares? If a body goes through, we've got trouble, right? 13.7, 10.7 are the levels to watch. Now, what becomes realistic? Is it still possible that Bitcoin has bottomed? According to the facts in this chart, yes. And according to the facts in some other charts, yes. We have to take all of the facts and look at some probabilities and statistics. Again, there are no certainties in trading. There are probabilities and statistics. And again, some charts are still strongly suggesting that the bottom could be in as a surprise bottom in. And other charts are suggesting that we have a trend reversal still on the horizon. We're having significant resistance at key levels. And a lot of charts are starting to suggest 13.7 is the only level left that is very strong that could hold us as support because our thin ice didn't play out. So these are the facts. Again, you come to this channel for facts. I give you facts, whether you like them or not. I read the charts as they are. I don't tell you what you want to hear. We don't take paid ads. It's just pure facts. So Bitcoin is in this situation now with these recent closes that just happened that are suggesting we've broken our thin ice. Our next level is 13.7, but some of the facts are still saying that the bottom could still be in, that we're having some final flush out stage. Okay, so that's what the facts are saying. I do want to say that later this month, probably in the middle of the month, something very exciting is going to come. Something that we have been in beta for a while. What I've realized is you and probably everybody else want financial freedom. So for over a year, we've been building the best system for financial freedom. It's a 7-step program. And if you're willing to put in the work, you're going to get a lot closer to financial freedom. It's that simple. So it's my life's work, and it's still in beta. We've had people in it for over the past month, and they're going crazy about it. They're learning so much. They're making a lot of progress, and it's a lot about crypto. Our students are posting forum alerts. Everybody is learning from each other. It's all like-minded people, and it's only going to be open to folks on our email list in the middle of the month. So make sure you get on our email list. Just go to our website, jump on there, and it's going to be awesome. There's not going to be a lot of people we're going to let in because we're keeping it small. We're continuing to learn and mold and grow and make it different according to what our students are wanting. So it's super, super exciting. That is coming a little bit later. Now, I promised you at the beginning of the video that this is the new year, right? It's Happy New Year, and now you're going to hear from all of these ridiculous people that they have some New Year's resolution. What I want you to tell them, and if you have one, I want you to take it and throw it right in the trash. That's where it belongs. New Year's resolutions are just garbage. What you have to realize is humans, mostly all of the day, we run on programs. We run on automated programs, and these are called habits. We've built habits when we were little kids, and we still have those habits today, unfortunately. The only way to change anything in your life is to change a habit, plain and simple. A New Year's resolution will never do that because humans create these big goals that are lofty, like, oh, I'm going to start going to the gym 3 days a week. If you haven't been to the gym in 3 years, how the hell are you going to go to gym 3 days a week? You're never going to do it. A habit, you have to break it first with a habit. So instead of saying, I'm going to go to the gym 3 days a week, which you and I both know that's never going to happen, what you should say is, tomorrow, when I wake up, I'm going to put my gym shoes on. You start to break that daily habit in the morning. That becomes the first thing you do every morning. Every morning, you put your gym shoes on. Who cares if you go or not? We're baby steps here. It's a habit. So then, once you start to put on your shoes every morning, after a few days, you're like, all right, I've got this. Then the next thing, I'm going to put my gym clothes on. Then a few days later, you put your gym shoes on every morning. Then you put your gym clothes on every morning. You're making these new habits that are long-lasting, potentially lifetime long-lasting, right? So you start doing it in baby steps like this. And then you say to yourself, you know what? I'm just going to show up to the gym. I already have my gym shoes on. I have my clothes on. I'm just going to show up. You're not going to say, I'm going to go there for an hour and a half and I'm going to do this exercise. No, that's too overwhelming for humans and we'll just give up, right? So habits are the key. New Year's resolutions belong right in the trash, okay? So that's my take. Hit that subscribe button. I'll see you right back here on the next video. Peace and love to the fellow underdogs. Do you want to know when to buy and when to sell? Click this video right now.